It's midday. Hello, this is JoyNews Today. My name is Carlos Caloni. Our top stories this hour. Governing New Patriotic Party's promise to merge teacher licensure exams with colleges of education final exam in its 2024 manifesto. And minority in parliament wants government to further probe the $134 million trafigura judgment after U.S. court documents show Ghana failed twice to challenge UK ruling. We'll hear from former Power Minister Dr. Kobina Donkor. And Sports Ministry says it paid state broadcaster GBC over $3 million for its broadcast of the 13th All-African Games. We have details plus business, sports, world news, and showbiz in this package. Stay with us. Grateful for your time. Now, the governing New Patriotic Party says it will merge the teacher licensure exam with a certificate given to teacher trainees upon completion of the education. The licensure exam has been seen some criticism, with stakeholders asking for its cancellation. Now, the NPP in its manifesto has decided to conduct the licensure exam in a way that will see teacher trainees receiving both their certificate of merit and the license to teach them when they complete school. Now, Deputy Director General of the Ghana Education Service and member of the NPP Education Manifesto Committee spoke earlier on News Desk.
So teachers have never opposed a licensure. During the course of the implementation, what we have heard and what we have seen as the challenges that are coming up is the time between which a teacher completes College of Education and sometimes when the license exam is offered, which is offered about twice a year. So let's say a teacher completes College of Education around June or July, and then it's offered in December. That's about a 6 to 7 month period the teacher must wait to write the licensure. National Teaching Council, in working with them and coming through the manifesto committee that I served on, we do know that they can integrate the assessment for a license at the end of the teacher's educational career, so that the teacher does not have to finish, wait 6 or 7 months and write.
So it means we're phasing out the teacher licensure.
We are not phasing it out.
Okay, we're
National Teaching Council is basically, if I can say it in layman's terms, they are going to implement their exam at the colleges at the end of a teacher's term, rather than writing it separately.
Okay.
So right when you are finishing college and taking your certificate, as part of your final exam, National Teaching Council, for lack of a better word, accredits the colleges to then run that licensure assessment as part of your final exam, so that when you take your certificate, National Teaching Council, which has accredited your college to make sure that they are teaching you to that standard, will then also issue you a license. So we've joined the two, thereby addressing the challenge that teachers had, especially around the gap that sometimes is between completion and when they do the assessment.
Thank you.
Now, away from that, the minority in parliament is asking a government to further probe a ruling by a U.S. District Court document revealing that Ghana's legal team failed twice to challenge a $134 million judgment awarded to energy firm Trafigura by English court. This debt stems from a power purchase agreement between Trafigura's GC and government. Former Power Minister Dr. Kobina Donkor, who spoke earlier on News Desk, said he was distraught by the ruling and wants government to challenge this.
Devastated. I am extremely devastated. I'm devastated because we have been ill-served by parochial interest. And in a way, I believe we have not handled these judgment dates well. We have not highlighted them enough. These are avoidable dates. When government decided to abrogate the contract, I warned that, you see, every contract has a process of abrogation. You make room in the contract for termination. But if you do not follow the termination procedure, then of course you run into problems. That is one. But more importantly, the reasons for the termination of this particular contract. One of the major reasons the then minister cited in his letter of termination was that Ghana Power Company, Ghana, which is a subsidiary of Trafigura, had not obtained the necessary licenses from Energy Commission, etc. My recommendation moving forward is that whichever government comes to power in January 2025, and I believe the NDC will come to power by the courtesy of the good people of Ghana, we must probe all such judgment debts and find and establish culpability. And public officials who let this country down should be asked to pay for it.
This is your election headquarters and day 2 of the Electoral Commission's voter exhibition exercise. Day 1 saw only a few people checking their details. Let's go to Kumasi and speak with Emmanuel Bright-Kweko for some update. Emmanuel, what can you report from where you are currently?
All right, so it's the second day of the voter exhibition exercise that is happening across the country and even in the Ashanti region. And I'm currently here at the Menchia South constituency to find out how the situation is. Unfortunately, yesterday there was a slow start, and then we are hoping that as the days go by, the numbers increase. That's according to the Electoral Commission. But I'll quickly interact with this EC official here to find out from her what so far she's been able to record since this exercise actually began. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right. I hope you are fine.
Yes, please.
All right. So now you've been here. Yesterday was the first day. I want to understand, how was it for you yesterday?
Yesterday it was normal. People were not coming back. It's cool.
Yesterday people weren't coming. So the entire day, how many numbers do you get?
7.
7 out of
288.
288. So out of this 7, how many are females and then how many are males?
Male 6, female 1.
Okay. So, and then the age bracket, do you have any idea?
The age, that from 22 to, I think, 20, it starts from 30 to the 60 column. Okay. Those are coming.
So meaning the younger ones are not coming?
No.
Do you have any idea as to why they are not coming?
Yeah, because of now how the system is. So people don't want to come and check because they see it wastes their time. Yeah.
That's why they are not coming.
Yeah.
But for today, how many numbers have you had so far since morning?
Today, 5.
5. At least it's better than yesterday, oh?
Yeah, in the morning, yeah, it's better than yesterday.
Yesterday around this time, how many had come?
Around this time, I think 3.
And then you had 4 for the rest of the day. So with this 5, you are hoping that at the end you get some numbers?
Yeah, I will get maybe 10. 10 will be
hoping to get 10. Okay.
But
all right, sure. Thank you very much for your time. And so that's an EC official telling me about the situation here at the Menchia South constituency. It's just one of the polling stations here. But we'll quickly interact with some of the locals who are here to find out what really is the challenge as to why they are not coming around to vote or to check their details, whether they are rightly captured into this particular voter album. Pacho, good morning.
Good morning.
Pacho, now do you need a
Midday Andy.
Andy. Pacho, now what check you in Anna?
Minyan check.
I didn't hear.
Oh, and you be about some starting Monday, every Friday. But roughly from Monday to Friday, and they say I may check it. But I see the Minyan check.
Okay, what check is out the better about now? Reason tell them.
Oh, me check it. Some of the better. Do one with the asa, but meto, but me check it who say me do. And I say me dinner.
Okay. And see, ebimu hunu say bia otifie no nka obe use short code na be about him so obe use short code no use na na
be about me team say me use short code no ade a check but tia 50 pesos na me nim say bia nka me tifie na me check it nka me tun say nka ye free a ke betimi am obi a timi a check by 50 pesos na e betie ne de kra me dwon kra me ntia de ntia ya tesa ade no ewo ade a wo check no
ntia no tu ka ho bi ntina ase wo mpese wo be kwa check ana
oh ano no ka ho bi de ano no ka ho bi
na won sanso nya time ana de ntia
nya time on say be kwa adwuma be fie anwumre be ban so no mapon but enu Friday ne de na ya pe ayi bi de betimi akwa check.
Okay, all right, sure. But auto about to Wahana.
Me too about Ashton Hajia.
Okay, now polling center anyway.
The police center no Bafakuto. If you name her.
All right, sure. Pacho, medasi. All right, sure. And so that's somebody I have been interacting with. He is telling me, well, he hasn't gone to vote, check his details in the voter album, but he will be doing so. But he does not understand why the short code that has been used for easy access to check some of these things is being, there is a toll on this checking. So he's hoping that they can do something about it to maybe take it off or reduce the amounts. But I quickly interact with a lot more of people here who, whether or not they've actually checked or they haven't. Pacho, good morning.
Morning.
Pacho, didn't say?
Jamal.
Now, Pacho, over in Fanebe.
Me free tafu nebe.
Okay, now what check you would votable?
Me yan check there.
I didn't hear.
Oh, you be
only reason tia on check here. And about one unye ready so beto.
My already there by me ankasa na ya me kokon aso ntia ya me nya time a me be check it. Enti na ma me aye.
Okay. Ntu kokon kwanso atambe na oba.
Oh, ya kwa ya che bia some 3 months 4 months and sana ya beduru. Enti na ama me nya kwa embe.
No apen no mshase oba wa around ti unko check.
Oh, o de o ma shase ne me kwa check ya hwe.
Now be use short code no so.
Short code in the nimitrim nti this am call baby am to aba no ma check.
No ma check. Okay. All right, sure. And that's Pacho Udini be there.
Jamal.
All right, sure. And so that's also somebody who's hoping to check his details in the voter album. He says that he has been on and off. He's not really around, and that's why he's not been able to go check his details in the voter album.
That's my colleague Emmanuel Brightcoat. Well, the National Peace Council is asking journalists to be more circumspect in their report before, during and after the December polls. The NPC says any bad report could spell doom for the country. Chairman of the National Peace Council, Reverend Dr. Ernest Edujemfi, says this year's election presents a significant challenge that will test the resilience of Ghana's democracy. Now, let's connect live to Samuel Mbura of our political desk, who is currently in that engagement between the media and the National Peace Council. Mbura, we've heard the Peace Council raise their concern, but what did they say they have been doing before, during, and after election to ensure peace?
Well, you know very well that the National Peace Council is always called out anytime there are political mishaps or situations at hand in the country. The major concern has always been that the National Peace Council does not come out in time to comment or condemn certain political commentaries coming from the various political parties. Well, the National Peace Council says their role has mostly been misconstrued and they do not have the power to prosecute, but what they do is to play the mediation role, and that's what they have been doing all this while. So before a critical election like this, they have to engage with the relevant stakeholders, move from one region to the other, one community to the other, sensitize the people, talk to them, let them understand the purpose or the importance of sustaining peace in the country. So according to the National Peace Council, they have always been engaging the stakeholders before, during, and elections. That's why for the past some time now, we've been able to sustain peace in the country.
They also raised concerns about misinformation ahead of the election. Tell us more.
Yeah, so misinformation, disinformation, fake and false news is one of some of the issues that the National Peace Council is alarmed about. The National Peace Council holds a view that if misinformation, especially at this critical point, getting to just barely 3 months to elections, are not dealt with, it could plunge the country into chaos, because it can raise people's tension and also make voters indecisive. And once the voters are indecisive, it exposes them to manipulation and exploitation by the political class. So the National Peace Council wants the editors, producers of the media houses in the country to be worried about this and ensure that they assess the taste of news items and also ensure that they present a balanced report so that we will have a sustained, peaceful environment before, during, and after the elections.
Thank you so much, Mbura. We'll keep our eyes on that engagement and bring you details in our subsequent bulletin. Away from that, the race for the 2024 election is heating up, and the second lady, Hajia Samira Bawumia, is making waves on the campaign trail. She's been touring the Western region, rallying support for her husband, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. She's been to the Ifia constituency to garner support for the NPP's parliamentary candidate.
The Ifia constituency in the Western region witnessed a massive turnout as the second lady, Hajia Samira Bawumia, campaigned for her husband, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, the flag bearer of the ruling New Patriotic Party. The second lady paid a courtesy call on the Muslim leaders at the mosque at Paipano before addressing the crowd at Ifia Zongo.
Na baby obekobia Bawumia Inti minim say inshallah His Excellency Bawumia obeweni about one year control December 7. Obien himself on a holiday. Obien himself cano prayer. Obien himself wa hobrasie. Obien himself when him dia odi bebu o mine. Na Ifia Moso mo die ene se mo besma lawyer Buama manaban crime abegi ade papa ede abremo minim se ma teach you ye ni kama for me say that ma teach you ye ni kama for na December 7 mo kotu aba e ma Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia na mo tuma lawyer Buama Munfane say Ifia for where you Hajia Samira. So no so yeah I'll come out for Emamo. Me papa yeju made Eddie Asum Ghana man. Me make sure say yes say yet the beboa Emma. Yet the boa Emma ejuma Ashemukina ama Musumwenya Mufa Hodieno Mesumeyesa Eddie Abuamo.
Isaac Yabuamanyako, the NPP parliamentary candidate for Ifia, praised Dr. Bawumia's humility and his role in driving digitalization initiative.
And a Muslim leader on a Jara or the Sada to Abano, Adima Dr. Bawumia. Name at the party in Cha, at Tumana, when the moon crosses. Now, when the mother and William, only Dr. Bawumia, or when indeed. Or when you Saduhun, our agenda, our place, Ghana, yes, 1992. Me, woman, Penina, Bedeti, 8 years. What brand was it? Other woman, Penina, Dr. Bawumia. Be brand woman, what to Ghana. Woman, Penina, Bedeti, a bill one, Bedeti, or Queen, on your problem. A bill one, Bedeti, and one year to my. Because that was so put that bet you want to another bet you want William. Dr. Bawumia wa brand was in first son or Kofia wa chain or Dama Nana Kufuado. And I brain so then you could put best in William and William Bruno only.
As the campaign heats up, the residents of Ifia constituency have shown their overwhelming support for Dr. Bawumia and the NPP, looking forward to the future of continued development and progress. For Joy News in Athalia, Kwanza, Western Region.
You're still watching the Joy Newsroom with me, Carlos Caloni. We'll take a short break. We'll return with more. Please stay. Welcome back. Now, environmentalists are intensifying pressure on the government to begin work on the Keta coastlines to prevent the city's total collapse. They warned that the government's continued delay in starting a sea defense project in the Keta municipality could result in a complete destruction of the area within few years. In 2022, the government secured approximately $150 million to protect 3 coastal communities, including Keta. However, a year later, environmentalists lament no visible progress. In the second part of today's climate series, Vanishing Shores of Keta, we explore how rising sea levels are affecting tourism, revenue, and even the dead in the Keta municipality. Apart from negative impact on housing and livelihood, the rising levels of the sea is negatively impacting on tourism here in Keta. The owner of this facility tells me how devastating the recent tidal waves have been on his facility.
The cost is very tremendous. First, we are losing clients, so no income is coming. It's a loss. We still have to protect or keep certain facilities running, like the fridges, security and all this thing. Electricity will be on, it's a cost. Now, in my case, in an attempt to protect the facility from being destroyed totally, I have to find a way of protecting my property. As I stand now, I spent close to 1 million cedis to get this facility standing here.
James Akoli is a former assemblyman and a tour guide of this fort.
The state of the fort now is due to the rising sea level at that time. In 1980, the sea came and destroyed part of the fort. 3/4 of the fort has been washed into the sea. So that what left now is 1/3 we are seeing today. You see, the state of it now is partially rain. So if properly done, I think it will attract a lot of visitors to the fort. So it have declined the number of visitors that come into the fort.
At the Keta Municipal Assembly, officials lament climate change's devastating impact on revenue generation. Ransford Owusu is the Assembly's finance officer.
Truly, this tidal wave things normally, when it do happen, affects the business premises of the various businesses along the coast, and it does affect our property rate collection and then the collection of business operating permits from the various businesses that are along the coast. Sometimes when they leave their canoes and nets at the shore, before they will come back the next day, it has been taken away by the tidal waves, and that also affects their livelihood, and then it also affects the local economy, because Keta is mainly a fishery community. When we go to the market for revenue mobilization, you see that a lot of the farmers which hitherto were coming to the market, they no more come again.
Despite these devastating challenges, many, including environmentalists, strongly believe practical steps can be taken to reverse the trend and protect lives, livelihoods, and property.
I believe that something can be done. With my own experience, by dumping these boulders, what I have seen, it can be done.
The rock sea defense protection, which we use here mostly when we get the challenge, is only a short-term measure or a temporary measure that is put in place to contain the situation, after which major solution is found and then the issue is resolved. And there are a lot of countries that we can cite. Unfortunately for us in Ghana and in Africa, I don't know if it's because of funding or because of lack of research. We have relied heavily on this rock-sea defense protection, and that has really destroyed the marine environment and coastal biodiversity, aside not being able to solve the problem that we seek to resolve.
The new trend is about the hybrid, where we can do a little of what the rock and the boulders, they should do it. But the people have lost enough land that need to be reclaimed. And the hybrid gives them the opportunity to still have access to the beach and go on with their daily activities like fishing and farming.
Now, Climate Focus series is brought to you by Youth Breed Foundation and Climate and Development Knowledge Network. Away from the Climate Focus story, as 845, Godwin Kwashi refused to give up when glaucoma stole his vision and a livelihood 8 years ago. Forced to abandon his kente trade in Accra, he relocated to Leklebi, Agbesia, in the Afajatu South District to take up farming. Despite the challenges, he's been struggling to support his family with a meager proceeds from his harvest. Fred Kwame Asari has more in the following report.
Leklebi Agbesia lies on the southeastern side of the Volta region's Afajatu South District. Among the over 500 inhabitants here resides Philip, who is visually impaired. He was compelled to abandon his trade and settled here to earn a living through farming. I was diagnosed with glaucoma in 2015 at an eye clinic in Adenta. After some time, I noticed I was losing my vision, so I had to move to Vakbo to stay with my mother and later to Agbesia due to a lack of food and land for farming. He cultivates various food crops on small scales, sells a portion of his harvest, and stores the rest for use at home. Godwin prays for financial support to expand his farm to maximize profit and enhance his livelihood. I need spraying machines, agrochemicals, Wellington boots, and fertilizer. These items would help me increase yield. The other day, I stepped on something which coiled around my leg. It was my wife who informed me that it was a snake after I shook it off. If I were to wear a Wellington boot, I would not be scared. While on the farm, Mary, Godwin's wife, informed me that she had corn on the fire which she would sell to finance the evening meal. Back home was their son, who has speech and hearing impairment. He couldn't stay at the special school he was enrolled in, hence returning home a few weeks ago. He sometimes accompanies and helps the mother to sell maize among others to support the family. I accepted to marry him when he proposed to me. I do all his heart desires. I sell agbalikaklu, maize and other farm produce to support him. I need support to sell frozen fruits or buy cassava for my trade. The Blind Union Association here in the Afajatu South District eulogized the hard work of Godwin. The association believes a little push in his farm ventures would enable him to better take care of his family.
And he had been worrying me about support for even to go into mushroom production, rearing of animal like chicken and those things.
There are many others in the Afajatu South District who are not being held back by their conditions. They are bracing the odds, just like Godwin, to make ends meet. Fred Kwame Asari, Joy News, Leklebi Agbesia.
We'll take a short break. We'll return with business. Please stay in.
It's time for business on JoyNews Today. My name is Winston Taki, and now to our first business story. The Achiabo gas processing plant in the western region could be under threat and risks a shutdown. That's if the LPG marketers continue with boycott of two bulk distributors, Blue Ocean and Sage Petroleum. The LPG marketers get their supplies through bulk distributors who draw from the plant. Not turning to them for supplies in the coming weeks will affect the operations of Achiabo. Obed Buachi is head of gas regulation at the National Petroleum Authority.
Go and block a service provider's infrastructure, not to permit other people to go there and then gain products. You cannot do that. With regards to the facility at Atuabo, for instance, it is a strategic facility that allows us to evacuate LPG so that the gas processing plant can be run. Once you stop evacuation of LPG over there, you create a national security issue. And so that will have to be looked at also. And so these are actions that we will look at holistically, and we will issue statements and then we'll take necessary actions where we need to.
The population of Ghanaian youth is expected to hit 15.8 million by 2030. This represents an increase of over 1.7 million of population recorded in 2021. The report also showed that the Greater Accra region is expected to record the highest youth population size by 2030, with over 2.9 million persons between the ages of 15 and 35. Speaking to Joy Business, Deputy Government Statistician Dr. Faustina Frimpong Angwa argued that policymakers should develop the skills of the youth to reduce the rate of dependency. She spoke at the launch of the Maiden District Rankings Report and the Ghana Stat mobile app by the Ghana Statistical Service.
Findings: school-going and working-age populations will continue to increase, with Konkatamaso district expected to record the highest population growth rate by 2030. This is keenly followed by the Kumasi and Tamale Metropolitan Assemblies. Overall, 23 out of 261 districts are projected to record over a 50% increase in the population of persons between 15 and 59 years. The report also revealed that the population of persons between 15 and 35 years is expected to reach 15.8 million by 2030. Deputy Government Statistician Dr. Faustina Frimpong Angwa shared more details on the report. She spoke at the district-level population projections and launch of the Maiden District Rankings, as well as Ghana Stats mobile app.
The age from 15 to 59 years within the country is going to increase. At 2021, we saw that Ashanti region was leading, or KMA number was leading. But from 2024, moving 2027 to 2030, Konkatamaso is going to lead in that number. Somebody may ask, one of the things on the high side I'll talk about is that some parts of Greater Accra is like land is finished. They'll tell you that the land is completed. But these that are at the fringes of these capital towns, that's where people move in to settle because they can't space and other things. So now we've seen that the numbers there, both the school-going age, the working age group, is increasing in these areas that we are talking about.
Currently, Ghana's population is made up of 1/3 of persons between the ages of 15 and 35 years. Here's Deputy Government Statistician on what should be done to ensure an economically active youth.
When you have a lot of people in this age group, there's something we call the demographic dividend. The demographic dividend is that when people get to the age in which they are going to get jobs or working status, they require education, they require skills, and they require employment. And so if 1/3 of your population now is within this group, do they have their skills? Do they have their training? Do they have their education? So if we've given you that you don't have money, but I've told you that 1/3 of your people are in this group, where will you invest your money?
Professor Nicholas Awache, director at the Institute of Local Government Studies, noted that the report will support proper decision-making in the local government sector.
Today, dissemination of Ghana's population prospects, district population projections, and the platform mobile app is timely. It will help us make meaningful analysis on our decentralization and local governance systems.
The ceremony also witnessed the launch of the Ghana Stats mobile app and the Maiden District Ranking Report.
All for business. Up next is sports.
Time now to bring you sports here on Joy News Today with me, Muftau Nabila Abdullah. The Ministry of Youth and Sports has released the list of companies that benefited from the broadcast production of the African Games 2023. The Ghana Broadcasting Corporation had earlier released a statement stating that they did not receive over $6 million, contrary to the Minister of Youth and Sports statement before the Public Accounts Committee that they were paid over $3 million for the production of the African Games. The ministry, however, categorically stated that about $2.5 million of the money was paid directly to the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation on March 13 and May 22, respectively. The statement went further to also add that $1 million was paid to some third parties. First, let's hear from the director of the Ghana Broadcasting Corporations, Prof. Amin Al-Hassan, who spoke on GBC yesterday, and then we'll bring you the statement by the Ministry of Youth and Sports.
Benefit total payment to GBCs for GBC's benefit, I repeat, was $105,000, and that is what we got.
Now, but does GBC have any evidence to back what you're saying? Because, I mean, the minister is the one in charge. He has made a statement.
Of course.
What evidence do we have?
We definitely have enough documentation. These monies are not paid in bags. They are paid through the bank, and they are indicated what the money is for. And before we do that, there's a letter we will receive from the ministry telling us whose payment it should be for. And so we don't act on our own, we act upon instructions. And that we have all the documentations, and we have everything in place to show that these monies, you see, public funds are not easily disbursed like that. GBC needs $3 million to do a lot of things. And if we got the $3 million, we would have gone ahead to start spending on GBC's needs, including procuring an OB van. We didn't get that money.
Now, let me take you through the list of companies that the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation paid money to per the statement that was sent to the Ministry of Youth and Sport. It says that PGS, they received €2 million, and Quality Media Production also received $1 million. Silicon Productions got $57,000. And then GBC 24 African Games Channel, they got $105 million. And then Positive Communications got $20,000. And part of the money were also used for other things. But we also understand that based on our conversations with people and our work behind the scenes, GBC produced the African Games, and it was meant to be sold to interesting media organizations or media organizations that were interested in broadcasting the competition. However, all the media organizations that picked up the feed for free. We'll have details, and we'll be sharing these details on myjoyonline.com. As mentioned, this is the payments that were made to the third parties that the GBC engaged. And per the Ministry of Youth and Sports statement that was released on Tuesday evening, about $1 million was paid to some of these third parties, but 2.5 was paid directly to GBC on March 13 and May 22. That's your sports. For now, we do have more sports stories on myjoyonline.com.
Good afternoon, welcome to the Showbiz segments with me, Jacqueline and Samira. Now, are you feeling demure, mindful, or maybe a bit cutesy? Well, so is the internet. Today, we are diving into why these three words are trending all over social media, thanks to a TikTok creator, Jules LeBron.
Mindful, very cutesy. Yes, look at that. So demure.
See how I do my makeup for work? Very demure.
This buzzword trio has taken over social media like wildfire since early August. And you can thank TikTok personality Jules LeBron for the spark. In just one video, now with over 36 million views, Jules has everyone rethinking how they present themselves online. But what does it really mean to be demure? Well, according to Merriam-Webster, it's all about being modest, reserved, maybe even a little shy. But the internet has flipped that on its head. Now, it's more of a vibe, an attitude, a whole lifestyle. Even big names are getting in on the action. United Airlines paired Jules' advice on how to line up for a flight. very demure. I don't rush, I take my spot, I don't intrude, with a video showing off some perfectly polite plain boarding behavior. And it doesn't stop there. The White House joined in, posting a picture of the American President Joe Biden with the caption, "Counseling students' debts for nearly 5 million Americans. Very mindful, very demure." Celebrities like J-Lo, Kim Kardashian, and Ghanaian celebrities like Nadia Buhari have all hopped on the trend. But perhaps the most unexpected participants, NASA. Yes, even the cosmos are getting cutesy, with NASA sharing images of Saturn's rings. Very demure, very cutesy, very mindful. So, next time you're online, ask yourself, are you feeling demure today? Whatever the vibe, this trend isn't going anywhere. Jacqueline and Samira Boy's report, read to you.
Very mindful, very demure.
I'm very demure.
We have all the flavors.
Well, now that we know the meaning of demure, let's move away from that story. Well, the Big Chef tertiary train has made a stop at Eastern Region, where 6 contestants grouped into pairs of 3 are gearing up to battle it out for the spot to represent Koforidua Technical University in the competition. Teams Flames, Crafty Crew and Olela are going to be working with ingredients put in mystery baskets for the judges. Each team has 30 minutes to whip up a meal with the ingredients given. Michelle Ejokum gives us a scoop of what we are to expect.
We're right here at Koforidua Technical University for day 7 of auditions for Big Chef Tertiary Season 2. And I'm caught up with the contestants who will be competing today. And only one team will actually come to Accra to represent KTU in this season. Last season, they were in, but unfortunately, they were not able to get to the finale. And of course, they didn't even win. But this time around, they are coming with their A game. They're saying they're ready, but they need to compete so that one team will come and then, face the other schools and bring their crown home. That is, if they're able to do that. But let me get in touch with the team here. There's one more team, but unfortunately, they cannot join us now because I understand they have to write an exam. And so they'll meet us later in the day for the main, competition. But let me get closer. I'd like you to introduce yourself to us. And together, what's the name of your team?
Inokuhusu Asari. This is my member, my team.
Of Face to Fire. And together, your team?
We are the Flames, yeah.
The Flames. Okay. And here?
I'm Keen in Shira Cleaver. Okay. Yeah, my teammate is on her way, but our group name or team name is Crafty Crew.
Okay. My name is Joshua Kebesanajeni Watson. My team member is also writing exams. She will join me soon, and we are Team Olela.
The team names are, is shaking me right here.
Well, the main competition will be live on Joy Prime at 3 p.m. today. Tune in to find out which team will win the competition. That note is a wrap for the showbiz segment with me, Jacqueline and Samira Boa. Over to you, Carlos Kaloni.
Great. And that's all we have on today's edition of Joy News. You can log on to myjoyonline.com for more stories. My name is Carlos Kaloni. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great afternoon.